Sound. Rolling.
Rolling.
Sound speed.
Awesome. Take two.
And action.
Hello again, YouTubers. Welcome, all collectors, fans, geeks, pop culture nuts, celebrities, Simpsons fans, and treasure hunters alike. You are now watching The Retro Room here at the Chriso Entertainment Channel. This is the place where we look into everything: toys, TV shows, cartoons, movies, wrestling, comics, video games, sports and movie memorabilia, celebrity autographs. We even open new and old packs of baseball, football, basketball, wrestling, hockey, and movie cards. Nostalgia of all kinds from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and a little bit of the 2000s. So sit back, grab some memories, and enjoy this visual content. The junk wax era. Let's talk about this time in baseball collecting. This refers to a period in time in the late 1980s, 1986 to be exact, and ended in 1993. This is where card manufacturers flooded the market with so much product that it resulted in a massive supply side imbalance of supply and demand. Most cards in boxes from the junk wax era are worth significantly less than similar cards released earlier in the 80s, simply because the print quantities were so much greater. Many collectors, disappointed that so many of their cards weren't as rare or as valuable as they expected, they ended up fleeing the hobby entirely during this era. The start of the junk wax era in 1985 and ending it in 1993 says, by then, companies had started to realize, at least to a certain extent, that maybe it was a good idea not to completely flood the market with more cards than anyone could possibly handle. I don't know, maybe. Despite the overproduction during the junk wax era, some rare and valuable cards did emerge, like the 1990s Topps Frank Thomas No-Name Error card, or the 1989 Topps Tiffany Ken Griffey Jr. Rookie card. Collectors noticed premier cards like the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle or the Honus Wagner T206, which were setting records at auction. The thinking at the time was that baseball cards of the 1980s would be the next 1952 Mantles. Boy, were we wrong. While overproduction isn't close to what it was like in the 80s and the 90s, production is high enough that most modern cards will have trouble retaining value in the next 10 to say 15 years. Especially with all the variations of each card in the hobby continuing to grow with every valuable card that will be kept in good to mint condition, compared to back then. So really there won't be anything special about cards with high grades, other than flawlessness. It wasn't just that there were a million of every card. They do that now, but just not as much. It was also that there were so many companies making so many of that one variation. Not all were great, but some true competition in the hobby today would be awesome. Wouldn't it be great if Panini and Upper Deck had full license to make baseball cards? And if Fleer came back, that would be a game changer in collecting and future values. So, even today we are living in the junk wax era still, just the fancier version. More cards are produced today than in the so-called junk wax era of the 80s and 90s. Additionally, a look at the values of some of the PSA 10s show that claims that the junk wax era cards are worthless are nonsense. The hobby loves these cards dearly, and people will pay good money for copies of them. There are limits to these cards though. So get in your closets, get in your attics, find your old baseball cards, and see what treasures you might have. Thank you for watching today's episode. Please leave a like and subscribe down at the bottom. Don't forget to hit that notification bell.